Okay, it's 10 o'clock. It's time to start. Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Welcome to this webinar about doing business in Thailand, opportunities in the green technology sector. This is a live webinar organized by Thailand Board of Investments. My name is Mats Görlam. I'm a consultant for BOI and I will act as a moderator for today. We have speakers from BOI, from SD1 and from Empower. We really hope that you find this webinar interesting and please note that we will have the microphones and cameras disabled during this session, and this webinar will also be recorded. There will be a Q&A session in the end there, and you can also write your questions in the Q&A section there. And without further delay, I'm proud to introduce the first speaker from the Nordic director at Thailand Board of Investments, Ms. Natarakorn, please.
Okay. You see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to host the webinar today and to give you a brief update about investment promotion measures of Thailand and highlights of opportunities for you. Let's start with the brief outlook of Thailand and national policy. As you can see from this slide, that Thailand is a promising market. The large domestic economy offers opportunity for investors to expand their operations. Moreover, the connection within ASEAN economies attracts many global manufacturers to establish a presence in Thailand. There are several indicators that represent how Thailand is one of the most attractive places for expats and business relocation. In terms of policy direction, Thailand's government is driving country to the next phase of development through innovation. Thailand announced Bangkok goals in APEC meeting last year to support global efforts in all environmental challenges. By that commitment, the Thai government set the BOI, the Bio-Circular Green or BCG economy as a national policy and as the way to find solution for climate challenges. These actions will allow Thailand to achieve its long-term goal of climate targets. Next is the current focus of Thailand's investment promotion policy. The BOI is the government agency, and we are the major agency that provides investment promotion of Thailand. Our scheme is available for both local and foreign companies. And with the same projects, they will get same privileges from us. Our tax incentives include things like corporate tax exemption, investment tax allowance, exemption of import duties on machinery and raw materials. At the same time, we are also offering non-tax incentives, mainly to facilitate setting up operation of foreign companies. Such as right to own 100% ownership of the company. This is a chart that summarizes standard packages of BOI incentives. Incentives are mainly based on several factors, such as level of technologies or role in supply chain. We divided incentives into two groups, A and B. As you can see, all promoted projects will get non-tax incentives, but only A group will get corporate income tax exemption. In addition to our existing investment promotion policies, we would like to highlight some new and exciting areas that are now eligible for investment promotion. These include electric vehicle, new energies, future foods, and aerospace-related activities. Thailand is committed to promoting innovation and sustainability, and we believe that these new areas of investment will help drive economic growth and create opportunities for both local and international investors. We have the retention and expansion program. This is designed to support our long-standing investors who have new or expand their investment in Thailand. This program offers special incentives on top of basic incentives. We recognize our existing investor and their contribution to our economy. So we want to ensure that they continue to have healthy operation in Thailand. And to encourage more companies to relocate their operation to Thailand, we offer the relocation program. This program aims to make it easier and more cost-effective for industries to move into Thailand by offering special incentives on top of basic incentives are already in place. This program intends to attract the relocation of manufacturing plants, regional headquarters, and R&D center to Thailand. Let's move on to sector of opportunities. Foreign investment is generally welcome in Thailand. The BOI is now having framework of strategy for the next coming 5 years. This strategy sets out to promote investment to restructure the country economy. This focus very much on the 5 targeted industry. First, about EV industry. There are 2 main engines that support EV industry in Thailand. The first aspect is the ambition to reduce greenhouse gas, and another aspect is the focus on industry development. The government of Thailand has ambition to make the country become carbon neutral and net zero greenhouse gas emissions. Along with the plan to go green, Thailand has announced aggressive EV targets. The government aims that there will be EV car accounted for 30% of total car production in year 2030. We aim to become a world-class EV hub and top-in-mind investment destination for EV ecosystem. In order to achieve the goal, governments by several agencies working together and generating supporting measures to help boosting demand and supply of EVs in Thailand. The domestic demand for EVs is predicted to increase continuously and is expected to reach target. The regional markets are also growing, and with several trade agreements, therefore, it becomes a great opportunity for Thai EV industry to be the regional EV hub. Next, we'll talk about smart electronics. These days, technology's adoption is very important, especially the adoption of smart electronics, which involves in almost every industry. The government is trying to secure supply chain for investors and to move up the value chain by attracting more upstream electronics players like semiconductor manufacturers. We aim to encourage adoption of automation, IoT, and digital technology in companies that doing business in Thailand to use the upgrade technology in that manufacturing process. Smart city development is one of the core pillars of Thailand Thailand digitalization. This drive currently underway in Thailand together with smart home and smart living. EV-link electronics will grow together with the target 30-30 vision. The Thai smart home devices market is another highlight opportunity in this sector. Demand is growing. About a digital industry, Thailand digital economy is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate. The transition processes and demand for technologies to upgrade towards Industry 4.0 are market opportunities for those companies with digital solution. The key drivers of agriculture transformation from traditional to smart farming are digital and data and technology. Investors with related technologies can benefit from this huge demand. To be specific, we are promoting and granting incentives for many business activity in digital industry. Thailand is on process of upgrading our economy towards digital economy and green economy. So any technologies or solutions that serve these goals are our focus of promotion. And for BCG economy, I'd like to point out some interesting opportunities. In food and agriculture, the highlights are smart farming, plant factory, precision agriculture, healthy food and bio ingredients are becoming more important and have market opportunities, especially probiotic and prebiotic products. Another good example highlight is alternative protein. At the BOI, we have seen more and more investment projects in protein production. Some company even export to European countries, such as insect-based protein. Another interesting opportunity would be energy and materials, particularly biomass power plant. Opportunity also exists in medical and wellness. Thailand has been major hub for medical tourism for quite some time. We are the fifth largest medical tourist market in the world. In the sector of energy, Thailand is offering ecosystem and raw materials for production. Currently, Thailand is the third largest bioplastic producer globally. The bioenergy and waste to energy market in Thailand shows significant potential for growth in power generation. As mentioned earlier about business potential in agriculture sector, Thailand agriculture sector is facing internal problems. However, development of technologies could solve these problems. First issue is about labor shortages. Drones and robots could replace the need for human labor. Another pain point is lack of production planning and management. Thailand was on par with other Asia Pacific countries for agricultural productivity. This means that Thailand's efficiency is not lacking. However, there is plenty room for improvement. In addition, the improvement in digital technology and devices is help enhancing efficiency in each step of agricultural supply chain. Next, let me talk about the BOI supporting services for investors. Apart from incentives that we are offering, the BOI is offering services that will help you to start and do business in Thailand easier. The BOI is offering various services at One Stop Investment Center. At the center, we can help you to speed up the process of submitting application, and also help you to contact with related government agencies. And of course, we also provide visa and work permit at this center. Within we promise to issue the document within 3 hours in case your documents are completed. For foreign investors, we are running a special visa scheme to attract foreign talents with technologies and to attract high potential business people. The Thai government believes that Thailand can be a regional center for living and doing business. We are offering special type of visa for those who match with our criteria. LTR visa is available for both BOI promoted companies and people who are not applying for BOI promotion. The LTR program has received positive feedback from foreign investors and professional people who want to work in Thailand. So far, we have launched this program for around 9 months and received a total of 3,700 applications, and of which European has hold the first place in terms of number of applications. We do see wealthy pensioner and work from Thailand professionals as the most popular categories. Couple of months ago, we just launched the headquarter business portal to promote Thailand as the destination for regional headquarters. The appointment system allowed investors to schedule consultation sessions with all relevant organizations simultaneously, ensuring that they receive the necessary guidance for the headquarter business ventures. Investor can use the platform for appointments both online and on-site to receive guidance and support for establishing regional offices in Thailand. The figure on slide shows the integrated system that provides end-to-end consultancy services from initial inquiries to the establishment of regional offices in the country. The BOI will serve as main agencies responsible for managing this system, coordinating with other government agencies, and providing assistance to investors. This platform will streamline the investment processes and help investors navigate the complex regulatory landscape in Thailand. In summary, Thailand is promoting many activities in targeted industry. Our focus is to achieve our national goals, which are growing and going green. Rooms are opened, starting from those who come to do just marketing up to the scale of production. We are also trying to point out that Thailand can be best second home for investor and high-skilled expats. If you may interest to start business activity in Thailand and have question whether it's eligible for getting promotion or not, feel free to send us email. And please keep in mind that the investment exists or operates before submit application will not be able to count as new investment and not able to ask for promotion. So if you plan to jump in and start your business, please make sure to contact BOI first, ask for your possible benefits. This is all for your own benefits. Okay, that's all the brief today. And if you are interested in being in touch with us, you just can visit our website and use some services from the platform, or the easier way is just contact us at the BOI Stockholm office. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much, Kun. And I just want to be clear that the service from BOI is totally free of charge, as also confidential. So that's also important. But you have the contact details here from the Stockholm office of the headquarters, and you will also, after this Zoom's webinar, get the recording, and also we'll send out the PowerPoint afterwards. And we will have a Q&A in the end, so you can also raise questions to Kun. Okay, then it's time for the next speaker. It's the Managing Director for SD1 in Thailand, Mr. Antti Aromäki. Please, Antti.
All right. Good morning, Nordics, and good morning, Thailand and Asia Pacific, if we have any listeners in this part of the region. Thank you. Can you see my slide? Very good.
Yes.
So yes, thank you, BOI, for the invitation. Kun Natarikon and Mats for inviting me here today. So pleasure to be here. I try to be brief as time is rather tight. So how SD1 as a company is solving global energy challenges, and of course we start by having a vision, which is to be the leading producer and seller of CO2 aware energy. And of course, we need to have a framework in order to reach that. And we do it by investing, producing, researching, and developing energy that is CO2 aware. And we want to do it all in a sense that it will have a positive societal impact. And of course, I think all great programs are not successful by yourself. So we need partners to achieve that. In one slide, our company, at the heart of it is the company's vision, which is to be the producer and seller of CO2 aware energy. And we do everything from production to logistics to retail, then to our customers, which then enable us to have world-class people working for us. And then also, if we have some profits over, we invested in sustainable raw materials. And we do all of this within Nordic values. Briefly about the company, so we have roughly about 20% market share in Finland, Sweden, and Norway. Last year, our net sales was roughly 10.5 billion euros. And we are a good taxpayer, and in our biorefineries, all of the feedstock for our advanced ethanol production is from waste. And of course, I'm sure that everyone is aware why we are doing what we are doing. So the global population is growing, and also the standards of living. And of course, all of those things drive our primary energy demand. And where it gets us is that we are headed towards the wrong direction if we want to stick to 1.5 degree warming. I will briefly try to introduce the problem, which is the distillation challenge. And let's say that aviation is one fuel that needs to grow. If we have the crude oil, we will have all the other products, regardless if we use them or not. So it's a bit of a problem. And of course, quick disclaimer, don't invest on what I'm saying. So policies, biofuels in Thailand. So I quickly try to look at EU policies. Are biofuels needed, and which sectors, marine and aviation, and what it could entail for Thailand. So policies in the EU seems to be driven by the CO2 reduction. And as we can see, a lot of the first generation biofuels, especially those that will have indirect land use change, will be pretty much barred from EU. Briefly, Fit for 55, maybe I talk a bit just here about the stick part. So the carbon border adjustment mechanism is there to ensure a level playing field for EU companies. So this means, for example, if you're a Thai company, that you have to compensate your carbon footprint if you want to enter European market at a future date. So do we still need the biofuels? Well, I think we do. So, for example, in the marine sector, we need them for quite a long time, and they are a drop-in replacement for existing fuels, or nearly so. Then, if we look at the sustainable aviation fuels, so there is, let's say, already a lot more demand than there is supply, and as we can see, the projections indicate that we are very far from our future needs if we want to have even a drop in of sustainable aviation fuels. So, and again, I point out and underline this: first generation biofuels have too small carbon emission reduction for them to really offer anything in this issue, even though if ICAO does not state it so. So for EU, what is SAF? So it is recyclable carbon fuels produced from waste processing gas and exhaust gas deriving from production process in industrial installations. And some biofuels produced from animal fats or distillates to be used in the aviation fuel mix for a limited time. However, excluded feed and food crop-based fuels, and those derived from palm oil because they do not align with the sustainability criteria. So, meaning first generation biofuels. I want to point out here that there is an kind of opportunity for Thailand, is that there are a lot of waste-related agricultural residues that are cheaper than global average, with, as based on our experience, much better CO2 reduction than in this table here. So quickly, that there is from ethanol for the sustainable aviation fuel. So we're looking at the cost perspective, from the yield perspective, and from total capital investment perspective, and minimum selling price perspective. Waste-related ethanol seems to be the best, and of course Thailand has plenty of underutilized agricultural residues, and I believe that all of these, which we've looked at in Thailand, they fare better than the averages provided here by the ICAO. And here is an example of what we are talking. So a starch mill produces pulp waste, and from a typical starch mill, you can make an ethanol plant 10 to 30 million, depending on the size of the starch mill. And we believe that Thailand can easily produce 400 million liters of ethanol per year. Our pilot plant opening ceremony. And here is the concept. So You have the cassava root that goes into typical starch plant, which then produce starch for variety uses, from your flour to your nachos and your cream thickeners. And then as a byproduct, you have the cassava pulp, which is non-edible, which can be used in SD1 ethanolysis process to produce ethanol, biogas, animal feed, and other interesting industrial components. So the key takeaways, I hope, is that in general, the EU policies will push for no food and feed in biofuels. And in general, the death of biofuels have been announced too early, so we will need them as a partial solution in having sustainable aviation and also in marine transport. And Thailand has an amazing potential to cash in on the growing global SAF demand. And of course, due to the scale and level of processing, Thailand's residues are more competitive than global averages. And of course, SD1 is here to help realize all the potential. Thank you. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Antti. Very interesting. And there is also time for Q&A later also. And yes. Okay. So we're having the next speaker is a business developer at Empower, Mr. Knut Landsverk, please.
So can you see my screen or?
Not yet. You started here. I see a black screen. If you click there, see it.
Looks like it's shit.
There we go. There we see it. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you very much for inviting me to speak here. So yeah, so Empower is a fairly young company. We started 5 years ago in Norway, Oslo, but are currently working in 45 countries around the world. So we like to move fast, and we are working with different size projects, all from small projects to large industrial scale projects. I'll get back to that. So we started with the idea that one of our biggest problems of waste should be able to be solved. So we were looking into it and diving into it, and all of the founders came from like a digital background. So we thought, okay, how can we grasp this problem? So one thing we saw is that the whole waste sector, there's a huge lack of data in order to create more transparency and traceability into the whole sector. So that's kind of where we started, and we saw that, okay, in order to create circular systems, you need more data in order to take better decisions. So the sad fact that is that every year we dump about 2.1 billion tons of waste. And this is also a huge business opportunity because the materials that we throw away has an estimated value of $1.2 trillion. So this is both kind of a huge, maybe one of the biggest economical potentials we have currently, and also the potential to solve a huge environmental problem. So if we continue with business as usual, so this graph is only for plastic. So by 2060, the consumption of plastic will triple, And as of today, only 15% approximately is recycled, and the rest is dumped on landfills, burned, thrown into the sea, etc. So one of the challenges today is that most kind of systems are very linear. So we make products, we use them once, and we throw them away. So what we are trying to do is kind of see, okay, how can we create these circular systems that make sure that you take materials back into the economy, or at least make sure that it ends up where it has the lowest cost for nature and highest, return for society and the economy. So what we see now, there is a global policy change, and there are, especially the EU is driving this very hard with new kind of laws and taxations. So we have been working a lot with plastic, but also kind of our platform is material agnostic. So we do work with other material flows as well. But we see that in order now for European companies to avoid being taxed, you need to also show kind of proof of where the recycled materials are coming from. So that is kind of where we tap in and with our platform. So we see that in order to kind of increase the collection and also create more reliable feedstock flow of feedstock into the big companies, you need to incentivize the collection side. So if you look at especially developing countries, a huge percentage of the material that is collected is done by waste pickers. And today we see that, for instance, PET is collected almost every place that we go, but then the big problem is all the other low value materials that nobody wants to take care of because it has no value. So what we are looking into, can we create a system where you can incentivize the collection of any kind of material? And so we have a kind of a system that where people can join in on voluntary base, I mean, big companies, and pay for these plastic credits. Or this will also kind of lead into the producer responsibility scheme that we see. I think every country that we are in talks and doing business, that this is on the table on governments, and I guess this is the same now in Thailand. So, and we see that in order to create interest from big corporations, and investments, they need to see that there is, as I mentioned, reliable and enough feedstock to get into the system so they can kind of do their investment. So for instance, to bring on an example, we are working in Argentina, and there we have a goal now with our partners to track 50% of all recyclable materials. And this is, so in that kind of value chain, we have actors like Amcor and Dow Chemicals and Unilever, Coca-Cola. And now we see that they are also starting to invest into this project, and more are coming on. So we see that collecting data, aggregating data, making sure that it's available for everyone is a huge potential, or creates a huge potential also for investments. So what we have kind of created is a very easy setup system to create like collection points anywhere in the world. And then we digitize the operations of these organizations, and they make sure that they also can monetize on it. So we have several mechanisms for that. So basically, what we do is we start tracking materials from the collection, and whenever material kind of change hands, we make sure that there is a two-way authentication happening. So the sellers of the material kind of get there is a transaction happening that is that this kind of next actor in the value chain confirm that it's received, and we store that transaction on the blockchain. So for every step materials do or a product do in the value chain, there is a two-way authentication, and then in the end you have like a digital ledger that's immutable. So that kind of also creates opportunities for the big brands, what they can do with this data. So you can either use it as a certificate of origin, or you can also, as we see is coming more and more, and this is also a new kind of law that's coming now in the EU, that all products need these digital product passports. So that data can also be used for that. So in Thailand, as of today, we have been working there with partners for almost 2 years. So we have a Swiss company called Tide Ocean. So they have a network of collection organizations in Asia that collects ocean-bound plastic for them, and we track all this material. And then Tide Ocean is Swiss-based, so they create like high-value or high-quality pellets that they sell to global brands. And again, they use this data then to increase the value of the material by adding all that kind of layer of history. And then we are working now with a company called Vungpanit. So they are like a huge company in Thailand with branches all over. So now we are mainly working with the Krabi branch and setting up also this kind of certification system there. So in order for the materials that is collected to certify that is actually being done and with the right volumes, and then the partners that do the collection can apply for these kind of incentive schemes, plastic credits or so that we are looking into the expansion of this now. I think that was the main part for me. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And was very interesting. But I mean, I suggest that we are into the Q&A part. So I suggest that if all speakers are, let me check here for potential questions. I have a first question for BI here, and that was about where are the EV industry clusters located in Thailand, and any similar clusters for green energy and waste management?
Yeah, for EV, in Thailand, I would say the big cluster for automotive industry is in the eastern part of Thailand, and there also in that area it's not only a cluster for automotive, but also for petrochemical, big industry and electronics. Many industry are located in those areas because it's the area that well developed for industries. And for another question is about green, right?
Yeah, for the green energy and all waste management, etc.
Yeah. For green energy is separate. It is spread throughout the countries. It depends on the locations of their source of raw materials. For example, if you would do something about bio energies, then you need to locate it nearby the source of the raw materials. Maybe similar to ST1 that they are located in the northeastern of Thailand. And for
was general green energy, but that's sort of a fairly general. That's maybe all over Thailand. Then.
Yeah, it's all over the country. That's all.
Okay. And for I'm just checking here for another question from Thomas Nyberg. Does BOI have a particular promotion focus on the PM 2.5 air pollution, which currently is caused to a large degree from burning farm waste?
Promotion focusing.
Particularly if you have any focus on that PM 2.5 air pollution.
It's not particular or specific measures to deal with this problem, but it's a kind of national policy to solve the problem. You mentioned that we have some farmers that burning their waste during the season. There are others laws that need to be applied to the case. For BOI, we're trying to for our promotion in our activity, the list of activities that we are promoting, we try to encourage any business activities that using green technologies and maybe solution for manage air pollution, purification, something like that. So no, the answer is no particular, but in the indirect way, we do promoting technologies and production of equipment or appliances that can help solving this problem.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. A question for SD1 here. I mean, you're strong in biofuels, ethanol from cassava waste, but do you see any potential in more renewable energy sectors in Thailand for SD1's further growth there?
Well, yeah, and thank you. And we are I have to maybe clarify this point that we don't plan to do any retail here, so that is way out of our depth here. But we do see that the potential of utilizing waste residues is tremendous, and I do encourage to do it. So the legislative framework has been very good in Thailand towards biofuels in general, and of course I'm a little bit hopeful that in future the Thai legislation would also start to kind of like consider that looking at where globally we are headed towards, that there would be also additional incentive. Is it if the biofuels are waste related biofuels, so that there would be some additional perk to that. So the thing that we've been looking at it, that is we believe that that can be competitive, but then you have a little bit more difficult waste related feedstocks, raw materials, which will kind of need that additional push. So for these lower hanging fruits, or then they need to be converted as I was talking about as a sustainable aviation fuel. So depending on the degree of the difficulty, it will need some extra help, and based on that, I think that see with every step of a little bit of extra help, see more and more opportunities in the sector.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. I have a question for Knut at Empower. It's from the Q&A here. How do the collection recycling parts get funded in Thailand?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how all of them get funded, but I guess a lot of them, I mean, they would probably sell materials that they collect. So that's kind of one, of course, revenue stream. But what we are trying to look into is, okay, how can you also incentivize the collection of material, as I mentioned, that have low value? So that's through this kind of incentive schemes. And as of today, what we are trying to set up, or what we are using globally, is this kind of voluntary system where companies can say, okay, we want to sponsor or offset our own plastic footprint by funding projects around the world, and then kind of there are certain criteria if your project or your company would be eligible for these kind of plastic credits. But whereas there's definitely a kind of a growing market for this in parallel or coming, similar to the carbon credit market that's been there for a long time. And then I guess also the long-term goal there is to have this producer responsibility scheme kind of funding the collection of any kind of waste that is kind of under an EPR scheme. So.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Thank you so much. And another question for you, Knut at Empower. I mean, you're a Norwegian company, and to my understanding, you have the software development, your app, etc., done in Norway. It's another type of scope. Do you see any potential for software development also in Thailand?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So we do already have developers in Sri Lanka that works for us and been doing that for a long time, and we have people around Europe. So we have people in Latin America. So surely, I mean, we are looking for competent people everywhere. So, but I think on investment, discussion, I think also what is super relevant is we discuss with the European Investment Bank, for instance, that they say, okay, we have a lot of money allocated for investment in infrastructure, but they say, okay, we lack data. We don't know where are the organizations and companies that we can invest in or borrow money to. So that's also where we see that our data can be super relevant. And as we see in Argentina, with the big companies now are kind of investing in large recycling projects because there is more data available. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think we have a final question here in the Q&A board, and it's to BOI. And it says, can BOI facilitate direct contact with Thai companies within service providers?
The BOI, we can help link or maybe provide some contact between foreign company with local Thai companies, but it depends whether what is the issues of they to be in touch. For example, if your company like to explore opportunities to set up in Thailand and like to meet with a potential local partner, then we can bridge you with local communities, business community associations, or federal Thai industry. And that's the way we can bridge you with the community. Another things we can do is that we can name some list, name some companies that quite match with your requirement, and then you can talk to each other later without us. But in case you just like to meet someone in Thailand to sell your products, just to sell your products, not nothing related to setting up in Thailand, is a bit far beyond what we are doing, because our duty is trying to encourage companies to set up, do business in Thailand. So if you're just trying to sell products, then we may not able to make direct contact for you with the customers. That's the point. But you can send us requests first. If we can help, then we try.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. This actually came in from Anton Lashing, and to you, Antti, says, how is it possible to initiate collaboration in the field of small hydropower projects? It was directed to you, but maybe it's
yeah. I'm not an expert in hydropower. So maybe I would refer that
maybe BOI and Natricol more in. Do we have any potential to open up collaboration in the small hydropower projects, or?
Okay.
You
I'm also not the expert too, but I think I can talk to my colleagues at the headquarters, the team that related to this the power energies projects, and I think there will be someone that can talk to about this.
Yeah.
I can find this information and send to you later.
Yeah, please come back to us and see what we can find there also. I can also mention on BOI's homepage there is a matchmaking form, which is possible to find potential suppliers, collaboration partners, whatever. So there is a form to fill in there. So that's one way to get in contact with different companies and partners in Thailand, or you can also contact BOI in headquarters or in the Nordic office there. Okay, I think the time is the webinar is come to its end, and I really would like to thank all the 3 speakers for their presentations and discussions today. And a link to the recorded version will be sent out to everyone, so you can have a look at it afterwards. And on behalf of BI, I would like to thank you all attending this webinar, and goodbye and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you all a great day.
Bye.